Edge at 11 starts now.
A news alert tonight out of Auburn Hills. Police are looking for an infant girl and her mother. If you're away from your TV, take a look at this. 32-year-old Amanda Prowell-Smith is accused of assaulting a family member and then taking off with 1-month-old Eliza last Friday. We're told she has mental health issues and that the baby was not even born at a hospital and has never been seen by a doctor. Amanda has had 2 other children removed from her care because of her mental state. Anybody with information should call 911 right away. Also tonight, a middle school sports coach arrested. 25-year-old Andre Brown accused of soliciting a 13-year-old girl.
This happened in the Farmington School District, and it is the 2nd case just this year in the school alone. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack joining us live with more on this latest arrest. Jessica.
Taryn and Roop, it really does feel like deja vu out here. In this case, the 25-year-old coach you mentioned, Andre Brown, accused of trying to get a 13-year-old girl at East Middle School in Farmington Hills to send him nude photos via Snapchat, much like the case we highlighted in the fall of yet another coach at Farmington High School. In this case, police are concerned there are more victims out there.
I absolutely wish people would just leave our children alone.
It's a seemingly simple ask from this mom whose kid was coached by 25-year-old Andre Brown, once on the sidelines at football games at East Middle School in Farmington Hills, now an accused sexual predator.
I was shocked. I was absolutely in tears because I've met him on several occasions, and he seemed to be such a nice person.
Investigators arresting Brown right at the school last week where he worked as a hall monitor and boys basketball and football coach. He's accused of trying to get a 13-year-old girl to send him nude photos, initiating the conversation with her on Snapchat. Farmington Hills Police Chief Jeff King commending the young girl for confiding in a counselor. How do you feel about the school's handling of the situation?
Honestly, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was perfect. They did everything immediately.
Brown is charged with 2 felonies, 1 count of child sexual abusive activity and accosting a child for immoral purposes. This is the 2nd time recently Farmington Public Schools have had an employee, a hall monitor and coach accused of sexual misconduct. 43-year-old Jeremy Tompkins caught in October for trying to have sex with 15 and 16-year-old male players on the varsity basketball team at Farmington High School. He's now charged, those brave boys taking the stand in court.
I felt like rubbing on my leg, and I was like confused. I was thinking that it was about to be, that he was about to do something.
Fox 2 dug deep into Tompkins' past, learning of a string of possibly dozens of victims at schools in and around Detroit. In this latest case with Coach Andre Brown, similar concerns.
And our fear is that there's more unidentified individuals involved, witnesses and victims.
Since the 13-year-old girl spoke out and Brown was arrested, a 2nd child has come forward as a possible victim.
You want to trust the school, you want to trust the staff, and at the end of the day, you really don't know who anyone is,
Farmington Public Schools did send a letter out to parents last week. In that letter, they did explain that they do state and federal background checks on all employees, and Coach Andre Brown did not have any priors. Now, as we said, he has already been charged. He was given a $25,000 bail, 10%. That means he can get out of police custody for $2,500. Reporting live in Farmington Hills, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, they may be doing background checks, but certainly if I am a parent and have a child there, I would find this really disturbing. Did the district talk about changing any sort of policies or monitoring situations, any sort of changes so parents can feel more at peace when they have their children involved in the school there?
Taryn, you better believe tomorrow's school board meeting is going to be absolutely lit with parents asking those questions. We have heard from the police chief. They are expecting quite a crowd at the meeting tomorrow, where I'm sure all of those things will come up. We'll stay on top of it.
All right, we know you will. Thanks, Jessica, for that report.
Well, a Dukes of Hazzard type scene playing out on 8 Mile in Detroit.
Unbelievable video of a car getting launched after accidentally driving up on a parked car hauler. Fox News' Dave Spencer talks to that business owner that captured the crazy video.
Never seen anything like this.
Watch as this Chevy Impala switches to the right lane just in time to use an empty car hauler as a ramp, launching the car into a light pole.
Throughout the 20 years, we've never seen anything like this.
It happened at 11 o'clock Monday morning on 8 Mile near Livernois, in front of Palace Auto and A1 Transmission. Ali Shami co-owns Palace Auto.
We heard a big bang outside. We came running out, seen the Impala go on the truck and just flip over and crash into this pole over here.
Somehow, despite flipping his car midair and taking out the pole, Shami says the driver of that Impala was not seriously hurt.
Yep, he got up and he walked, and we even tried to trade his car in.
Eventually, according to witnesses, the driver was taken via ambulance and his condition at this time is unknown. It's also unclear what caused the crash in the first place.
I can't believe it. It's outrageous. What can you do?
According to the owner of Palace Auto, large car haulers like this can't fit into the tight lots of the businesses on 8 Mile. So they park on the street.
We get about five trucks a week loading, unloading cars. They usually park out here on 8 Mile. We've never seen anything like this.
Aside from a missing light pole and some tire tracks, you would hardly know a crash here even occurred. Thankfully, no one else was injured as a result of this crash. The cause of all this still under investigation. Dave Spencer on The Edge.
Well, no verdict yet in the involuntary manslaughter case against Jennifer Crumbly.
But there were plenty of new developments to tell you about as the jury continued to deliberate. They asked the judge 2 questions. They asked for a definition of involuntary manslaughter. The prosecutor claims Jennifer Crumbly was grossly negligent in her role as a mom by her actions and her inactions. The question is if the prosecution proved that it led to a mass shooting. The other question they asked is how did the shooter get the gun? And did Jennifer play a role in that? The jury is assembled of 6 men and 6 women. All but 2 have connections to guns. The jury was also curious as to why the prosecutors didn't have the shooter testify. We asked Fox 2's Charlie Langton for his legal opinion on that.
The only thing you jurors can talk about is what you heard on the witness stand. You can't guess why someone may not have been called, but just because, remember, who's got the burden here? Prosecutor. The defense, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to call a witness, nothing. So again, betting people would probably say, maybe the jury says, hey, we want to know more about the gun, how the shooter got him. Prosecutor, nah. But it's a little bit early to tell. Tomorrow is another day.
Another day in which we could see a verdict. Charlie believes that could happen tomorrow. Stay with Fox 2 for the latest developments on air and online and on our app. That's the streaming TV app, Fox Local. Tensions were high at tonight's Clay Township meeting. The Harsons Island Transportation Authority is asking voters for a $4.5 million operating tax for a second ferry service.
The proposal has gotten mixed reviews. Residents complain the rates for the ferry are already too high. Clay Township Supervisor says the Transportation Authority has grant money to build a new bridge, but other board members want to explore adding a second ferry that would come at a greater cost to taxpayers.
The nature of the grant is very specific. It's for a feasibility study for a bridge.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's what it says.
It's for
right in the contract.
They have, and I've seen it, they have permission to explore all options, not just the bridge.
The Transportation Authority's chairman argues the ferry would attract more visitors to the island. Voters will have the final say at the end of the month.
This is crazy.
On our west coast, I was captivated by that.
Yeah.
Sea foam takes over Santa Cruz. The huge waves were produced by wind gusts that hit around 90 miles an hour.
While California is seeing some wicked weather, it's been pretty quiet around these parts, which is good.
Yeah, we just have some fog to contend with tonight. Captain Richard Luterman, though, has our full forecast.
Taryn Group, that's really it. Fog concerns for the overnight into tomorrow morning. You can see no active weather really sliding in our direction. So we stay dry for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But Friday, we will likely see some wet weather. But then again, we have numbers near 50 degrees at the end of the week. You can see there are a couple of breaks in the clouds trying to to develop, but some of the low cloud is quickly filling in. Look at the Mackinac Bridge. This is actually live. You can look close and see some of the cars there on the bridge, but 29 beautiful degrees at the bridge for us today. 39 degrees, lots of clouds, 26 the morning low. It was chilly to start the day. There are your averages, 33 and 19. Obviously, no rain or snow, although there were a few sprinkles out there this evening. Very, very light drizzle. Right now, 34 Ann Arbor and in Mount Clemens, 33 in Flint, 34 in Port Huron. Visibility really tells the story where the fog is. So when you see visibility is up above 7 miles, no real concern. There's a bit of haze and fog around Jackson, but we may see redevelopment of fog overnight. So keep that in mind when you're heading out tomorrow morning. Cooler up around Ludington, 27, 31 Fort Wayne, 28 out in Buffalo. High pressure keeps us dry. There it is. Slides off to the south and east. We are going to warm things up for the end of the week in advance of our next weather maker for Friday. That brings wet weather. For the rest of tonight, it'll be some areas of fog down to 28. Tomorrow, 40 degrees, some afternoon peaks of sunshine, and right there is the full 7-day. How about that? Near numbers near 50 for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll check it for you starting at 4 a.m.
An electrical manhole on fire in Southfield. According to DT, there's a damaged gas line underground at 12 Mile and Telegraph. The traffic lights at that busy intersection were out during the evening commute. The issue has also caused widespread outages in Southfield, Bingham Farms, Beverly Hills, and Franklin. Well, the end of an era in Bloomfield Township.
Yes, the Maple Theater has permanently closed its doors. The owners posted a sign on the door today saying their lease expired and they've decided to end operations. They also point to a drop in attendance and, of course, the toll the pandemic took on smaller theaters. The closing comes on the heels of Royal Oaks Main Art Theater shutting down in 2021. Maple Theater says gift cards can still be redeemed at the Imagine Theater in Birmingham.